How do you start that? How do you... Now, I am not a movie connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination, but I did finally watch a movie that I've been meaning to watch. The movie's called Thelma Louise, and it is a 90s movie, but it holds up surprisingly well. Now, before I get into anything, this is really hard. Now, before I get into anything, I'm just gonna say, like, I've never done, like, a review type video or anything like that. I just kind of thought, like, I watched this movie, and I like watching movies sometimes, and I like doing things sometimes, and I just thought, like, it would be fun to, I don't know, give my opinion, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a series or just a one-off thing, but I'm, like, making it look like it's going to be a series. I don't know. I just want to talk about a movie. So, I'm not, like, an official reviewer or anything, okay? I'm just talking about a movie that I watched with my mom. Now, of all the movies I've seen or know about, this movie has the most iconic ending of anything that I can think of. Maybe iconic's not the right word, but it's memorable. It's something that you will stick with you. I'm not going to spoil anything because it's a really good movie and I think anyone should watch it if they haven't already. I mean, it's a 90s movie. I feel like a lot of people have seen it. But, I'm not exclusively watching new movies. I just want to I want to watch any movie and talk about it. More than Avengers Endgame or whatever, whichever one it is, more than any of the Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or any other huge, like, iconic, well-known series, I think the ending to this one-off film is just super, super memorable. And without spoilers, anything that's really, like, related to what happens at the end, the movie always gets brought up. It doesn't matter what's being talked about, if it's like a tweet or a meme or something, if it has anything to do with how that movie ends, like, in any way, people will come in and say, oh, Thelma Louise. Thelma Louise. Buddy break. Pew, 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 pew. I mean, man, how do you do this? First impressions, I just think it's a really good movie. I think anyone over the age of 18, because it's rated R, should watch it. Oh, fuck, man, I'm struggling with this one. Talking head videos are not my strong suit. The movie has a strong theme of feminism throughout everything, but it's not in like a way that people would be mad about, I guess. I don't know. Fuck, it's stupid. The only thing on that is I will say the men are integral to the plot, which is fine. And then it's definitely male gazy. If you don't know what that means, it basically means that something like a movie is catered to be attractive to men. So if there's a woman on screen, she's sexualized or half naked or something. There are a lot of movies like that and a lot of things that are like that, so it's not that big of a deal for me, except for the fact that the part that is male gazy should not be male gazy. Basically something bad happens. One of the women has a bad experience. You can probably imagine what type of experience that is, and that's the male gazy part. So no, I don't like that part. It's a general consensus that most people don't like that part. I've looked it up. But the general synopsis of the movie is, without spoilers, that these two women, Thelma and Louise, oh my god, they go out on a vacation. They're strapped in by their lives, their jobs, their husbands, whatever, and they want to go on a vacation together. And, one of them is kind of high-strung, and the other one is kind of just, like, naive because she's been sheltered by her husband, and just things like that. So they just go, you know what, we're just going to go on vacation. What could go wrong? And things happen. Things do happen. And it's not like a comedy, right? It's not a comedy. I wouldn't say it's a comedy. I would say it's more like an adventure, like, crime movie. And now saying that, you could imagine what kind of stuff happens. So they introduce Louise as this character who's kind of more, I don't want to say grown up, but she's definitely kind of almost a parental type figure to Thelma. Like, she's keeping her in check. She's like, she's almost treating her like a kid. Meanwhile, Thelma is just kind of like a sheltered lady, and she's been kind of caged in a marriage that she doesn't really like, and so, but they have a really good dynamic. They're best friends, and from the moment they go, the energy is amazing. The characters are amazing. So something big happens in the very beginning, right after they leave. and that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the movie. And it's just kind of a pew. But they like, I don't know, they adapt well, and it's just the characters are so well written. They also introduce like quite a few other characters, and all those other characters are beautifully portrayed, beautifully acted. They're all great and feel very real. Now, even though it isn't a comedy, there are definitely funny parts of the movie. Personally, my favorite part is when Thelma, like I said, she's more naive. She kind of learns something from someone who's a criminal, and it's obviously a illegal thing. She learns it, and Louise doesn't know that she learned that. So they find themselves in a pinch, you know, they're scared, it feels like the end of the line, and then Thelma may or may not she does. I mean, she does it. Sorry, that's a minor spoiler, but it's so funny. It's so good. Louise is like, what the fuck? Where did you learn that? But past that aspect, there is also, it's really more emotional, it's deep, it's sad, and it has a lot of things, you know. There's, throughout the movie, they kind of allude to, something happening to Louise in Texas. And she says, I don't want to go to Texas. We can't go through Texas. You know something happened to me in Texas, Thelma. Like, I don't want to go to Texas. And they never tell you what happened. And I think that's kind of cool, actually, that they don't tell you, because it's not like the main point of the story. It's just something that comes up once or twice. And I feel like that's kind of an element of the feminism thing, because she literally just tells Thelma, like, I'm never going to say it. Like, I'm never going to talk about it. That's it. And Thelma's like, okay. And that's it. They do kind of just tell you, like, insinuate what happened. But it's still like you're not sure, you know? And after I watched the movie, I kind of, like, went on Reddit. I went on Reddit because I had a question. No one had an answer to it. My question was basically, why is it throughout the film there are, like, 3 or 4 scenes, there are, like, 3 or 4 scenes of Louise, like, looking in a window or looking in a direction, and there's an elderly person, typically. Not always, but I think most of them are elderly. And they're just, like, looking at her. And she's just like, and they're like, and that's it. But they do it, like, 4 times. And I was like, what's the significance of that? So, in my opinion, I feel that there's also a scene where Louise stops. Thelma's not there. I think she's asleep. And it's, like, nighttime. And this is kind of near the end of the movie. And she's looking up at the stars and just kind of, you know, thinking. And I think that also has to do with it. And I think these scenes are kind of a way to foreshadow the ending a little bit. I think it's kind of like, I saw someone say or mention something similar to, like, once, like, halfway through the movie, they know their fate. They know what's going to happen. And I think those moments of looking at the elderly people and looking up at the stars, not saying anything, but clearly emotional, you can kind of tell, like, they know something is going to happen. They know it. They might as well know it through half the movie, which is cool. I love foreshadowing. That's my take on it. But really, the biggest thing to come out of this movie, other than the ending, is this message that, I mean, Reddit put it the best way, let's just say. Someone said, how is it a feminist movie if they're portrayed so sloppy and you know, problematic? And someone's like, well, that's why it's a feminist movie, because women aren't perfect, and they get into things just like male characters do, and they're not perfect. Things happen, and bad things happen to them, and they go crazy, and they do weird things, and yeah, I mean, how much more feminine can you get? So regardless if you've heard about the end of the movie or not, I really think that you should watch it, because it's just good. It's a good look back into the 90s without being too, like, you know, people will be like, oh, I don't want to watch old movies. Like, it doesn't feel like an old movie. It just feels like a good movie. And it's an iconic movie, and that's just cool. I think for all its shortcomings, it's definitely a sign of the times, and yeah, I just think it's good. So whether or not I ever do this again with movies, or I was playing around with books, which I don't do, but like maybe. I figured, let me do a Rotten Tomatoes thing here. Let me do a Penguin Z0 moist critical moist meter type deal, and just give like a percentage, because that's fun. That's fun. I'd say I'd give this movie like a 85. I think 85 is good. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of movies. With 100% being Dune Part 2. Maybe not 100%, but that's, it's up there. And 0% being like, I don't actually know any really bad movies. I can't even say The Room, because The Room is like actually good. 0% being no movie. I put it about 85. I think 85 is comfortable, because it's a really good movie, a really good iconic ending, but it's not it's not my favorite movie, It's just a good movie. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna pretty much do this whenever I feel like it, and whenever there's something that I like and I want to talk about. So yeah, thanks.